Hi guys, my name is Bex and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing to you the best books that I read in 2019. It is that time again, guys, and I am back from a really long impromptu hiatus. It has actually been 3 months since you have seen a video from me, and I am excited to be back. I thought, what better time to start again than to start in the new year, where I'm relaxed and refreshed and hopefully can be a little bit more consistent than I have been in the last few months. But what I wanted to start with, of course, was my best books of 2019. 2019 has been and gone, and I'm so shocked that it went so quickly, but I'm so excited to talk to you about what were my favourites of the year. Now, I have narrowed down my favourite books to 5, and there is a few double ups on each number, but you will see why as we go. But there are 5 to talk about, and they are all 5-star reads, and I'm really keen to share them with you. These will go in some sort of order. They'll go all the way through to my favourite book of the year, starting with number 5, and that is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Now, this is the first book in the Aurora cycle, and Amy and Jay are one of my favourite writing duos. They wrote the Illuminae files, and it was incredible, and I was so excited to get my hands on Aurora Rising. This kind of follows a dysfunctional group of people that get thrown together and have to save the galaxy. It is a fun YA sci-fi, and it basically starts off with Tyler, who is the top of his class at the Aurora Academy, and being top of the class means that he can pick the drafts that he wants for his squad, and he's really excited. But unfortunately, heroism gets in his way, and he misses the draft and is left with the dregs. And the story goes from there, and he kind of somehow ends up rescuing a girl who's been asleep for a very long time. And Amy and Jay's writing is so fantastic. I already know the writing very well, reading many of their books before, but this book really stepped it up. I found like that I could see the authors grow, and I really enjoyed that about the novel. I think the two of them took risks, and they didn't kind of backtrack what they did. They just committed to it, and it was an amazing read. It was funny, it was entertaining, it was fast-paced, and I love me a good sci-fi. So this comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, this is where you'll see the double up start. It is Heartstopper Volume 1 and Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman. This is a graphic novel series that follows 2 boys that they meet, become friends, and then they fall in love, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I really love this series. It's a cute contemporary graphic novel series, but it's very hand-drawn, and everything is kind of really rustic, but it makes the story like really unique and really beautiful. It's sweet, it's romantic, the characters are so kind, and they kind of go against the stereotypes, and it's just so freaking cute. If you're looking for a graphic novel series that you just want a little bit of a heartwarming read, this is definitely the one for you. I could not get enough of it. I 100% will be buying every single one of these, and it's just really freaking good. So yeah, that's Heartstopper. I can't tell you too much, but yeah, definitely always going to be a 5-star read. They're just fun, and they're delightful, and they are cute, and I just love them. Next on my list is number 3, and this is another set of double ups, and it is Hunting Prince Dracula and Capturing the Devil by Kerri Maniscalco. This is book 2 and book 4 in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. It is a historical fiction that surrounds Audrey Rose Wadsworth, who in the 1800s is kind of defying what it meant to be a lady in the 1800s. She is supposed to be a housewife, she's supposed to get married, but she doesn't want to. She wants to study forensic science, and she wants to kind of explore at why the dead are dead and how they got there. And in the beginning of this story, she is swept up in the Jack the Ripper murders, and is, yeah, it gets a little bit close to home. It follows on from there, and I really loved number 2 and number 4. Number 3, it was good. It was still something I really loved, but there were some tropes in there that I just hated. But these were just so fantastic. Hunting Prince Dracula sees Audrey Rose and her companion Thomas Cresswell go to Romania, and it's kind of like a Prince Dracula retelling, but it's fantastic, and it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit more mysterious, and the setting is just really beautiful and atmospheric, and the characters really in this one really come into their own. And then with Capturing the Devil, this sees them in New York and Chicago, and obviously they've got some problems in this one too, and I actually listened to these on audiobooks, so that's actually my favorite way of listening to these. This book's upside down, I'm not sure anyone noticed, but they're my favorite way of listening to these, and I definitely recommend if you are looking for a new audiobook, Stalking Jack the Ripper series is definitely one to try on audiobook. It just really added to my experience and I just adored it. Next up we are on to number 2, and number 2 on my best books of 2019 is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This writing duo wrote a fantastic contemporary novel, and it follows a guy named Tanner who is from California when his family moves back to a predominantly Mormon town in Utah. And what happens then is kind of Tanner goes back into the closet, and the story goes from there. He then signs up for a writing course, which means they take 1 semester to write a book, and yeah, he just kind of does it on a whim. But in walks Sebastian, who is like the priest's son, and Tanner finds himself falling in love with him. It's a contemporary romance, but it's cute, and it's important, and it's a lot of things in there. It's got LGBTQIA+ characters, clearly. It's about exploring sexuality. It's about coming out. It's just really beautiful. I cried during this one. It made me emotional. It was also fantastic on audiobook, but it was just a really well-written story, and I think a story that a lot of people can relate to. One I highly recommend. As a person who doesn't really read contemporary, this one really pulled on my heartstrings, so I love this one, and the cover is just absolutely stunning. This is actually a recommendation from Chelsea Darling Reads, and I was not disappointed. And last but not least, we are moving on to my favorite book of 2019, and I'm so excited to share it with you. But there's one person who may be watching this who won't be surprised, because it is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a recommendation to me from G from Bookgross, who I will leave linked down below, as well as Chelsea, who I mentioned a minute ago. And she has been on my case to read this since we both started booktube channels, like what, 4 years ago this year? And I was not disappointed. She did not let me down. This follows a guy named Kvoth, and it's kind of him telling his life story to a chronicler, and his story was fabulous. I cannot even give you much of a synopsis. It's really hard to do, but I'll quickly read the back for you. It says, I have stolen princesses back from Sleeping Barrow Kings. I burned down the town of Trebon. I have spent the night with Florian and left with both my sanity and my life. I was expelled from the university at a younger age than most people are allowed in. I tread paths by moonlight that others fear to speak of during the day. I have talked to gods, loved women, and written songs that make the minstrels weep. My name is Kvoth. You may have heard of me. This is such a good fantasy novel. It for me was just a slow burn, but I just loved the whole journey. It's not fast-paced. It's fast-paced in points, but I really enjoyed this way this story was told, and it was magical, and it was just a beautiful journey, and I really need to get my hands on the next one in this series, because I heard another book in this is coming out this year. I could be wrong, but I've heard 2020 is the year that Patrick Rothfuss continues this series, and I think this was written over 10 years ago. So this was published in 2007, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't released a book in 10 years, but we shall see. I'm excited about that, but I've never been so invested in a fantasy novel that hasn't been like hugely fast-paced. I'm normally just one who loves the fast pace, but this was slow, and it was character driven, and it was so detailed and so rich, and I could not say anything bad about it. I freaking loved this. And that is it for me today, guys. Those are my 5 top reads of 2019, and I hope you enjoyed. I really love this video every year. This is a really positive video to put out there, but it does mean the worst reads are coming really soon, so stay tuned for that. But if you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more and have not already, and chat to me down in the comments. Let me know what your favourite books of 2019 were. I would love to hear down in the comments so we can chat about them. But that is it for me today, guys. I make videos every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you in a new one. Bye!